far more intricate than the body. In comparison to training the mind, the body is easy to train, to become physically fit, to develop strength or endurance. It's very easy compared to training the mind, settling the mind. So the first thing to do if you want to practice meditation is to have that real intention. If you don't have the intention to practice, then you couldn't. You will give up immediately. So you can ask yourself, what is my intention? Do I want to meditate? Am I actually interested in meditation? So connecting with your intention or lack thereof, you can find that comfortable, stable position for your body. Close your eyes and begin to focus on your breath. To say it is quite simple, self-explanatory, but to do it, to focus on the breath at this moment is not simple, not self-explanatory, not easy. So we can start to focus on the breath by taking a few deep breaths. Breathing in deeply through the nose, feeling the lungs expand, and breathing out. Breathing in deeply, following the path of the breath, the course of the breath, and breathing out, feeling the breath flow out. As you are focusing on the flow of the breath, you can allow your body to begin relaxing, your body to begin settling and calming, becoming more and more still. And any emotion or thought that you may be having at this time, notice, focus on the feeling, the expression of that thought in the body. Breathing and being with the body. Being aware of the sensations of the body at this moment. Breath find a simple, natural rhythm. Doesn't matter how you're breathing. Just allow the breath to happen. Don't interfere with it. Just breathe. In meditation, we practice to give up, to let go, whatever we are experiencing. This is very valuable because sometimes we have strong emotions, strong reactivity, a strong feeling about a particular situation that is irrational, that has a great possibility, a great capacity to harm others or ourselves. So we practice meditation to let go, to detach, to not hold on to whatever we may be experiencing at this moment, to be aware but not attached. Just breathing and being aware of what is happening right now without adding any story to it, without adding any extra ideas about it. Just breathing and being aware. Just through being aware of what we are experiencing, that experience, that emotion, that feeling can dissolve, can relax. We can become more and more grounded, more and more present to reality rather than our reactivity, our rage, our discomfort, our confusion. So learning to rely on reality rather than our reactivity, rather than our small-minded self-focus. All through just breathing and being aware, putting down our thoughts, ideas, beliefs. We do this with a meditation method, a way of practice, a way of applying the mind. If you want to develop in meditation, you need to focus. You need to try. You need to put forth effort. You need to do all of this in a simple, direct way. That is the method of meditation. When we practice, we don't rely on thinking. We don't rely on beliefs. We don't rely on stories. The fundamental practice of meditation is moving from a complicated mind to a simple mind, to a mind of only practicing the meditation method. In this case, just focusing on the breath as it flows in and flows out. We get distracted, we get confused, we get caught up in thinking, and then return to the breath. Physicality, the directness of the breath. Sometimes that anger, that greediness, that negative thinking, complicated thinking, when we don't give our attention to it, we just let it run rampant and then we forget about it. It festers, it rots, it becomes a wound that we can't quite heal. So when a strong emotion arises, we give our full attention to it. We stop whatever we're doing, give our full attention to that feeling of the emotion in our own body. It is much easier to train the body than it is to train the mind. Those who have success in training the body far outnumber those who have success in training the mind. We train the mind in two ways. One is concentration, relaxation, the ability to concentrate, the ability to relax. The other is wisdom or insight. Through deep concentration, through deep relaxation, consistent, continuous, we gain insight not into this or that story, not into beliefs about ourselves or the world, but we gain insight into the nature of how the mind functions, and by extension, the nature of how reality functions. We do this from a simple, direct, consistent practice of applying the meditation method. Focusing on the breath as it flows in and flows out. Okay, at this time, everyone is welcome to ask questions. Ideally, please use your voice to ask your question. Go ahead. There's no just meditating. That doesn't mean anything. Meditation is applying the mind, that is, exerting ourselves through a meditation method. Just meditating is a belief in meditation, an idea about meditation, walking through the forest blindfolded, driving the car and thinking that we are exercising. So if you do not know what a meditation method is, you have no idea how to meditate.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't really think of that. I just thought of it as more of like, oh, doing I do meditation for 5-10 minutes. I didn't think of it as I am applying this method for 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you.
So a very common way of meditation is to focus on the breath. Focus on the feeling of the breath, the sensations of the breath as they flow in and flow out.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, about 6 years ago, I had a daily meditation practice, but something unfortunate happened to me and I got like mentally ill. And since then, I've been kind of scared to meditate on my own. Would like to ask, like, I never realized meditation could be something so powerful uh, and really unravel your mind and subconsciousness. So what I'm asking is, these I hear often that meditation is very positive, but are there any consequences to meditation?
Meditation is not a vague general concept. It's very specific. So the kind of meditation practice that you're doing will give a certain result.
I have a question. So, is there like is there different types of meditation? Like, it varies on how you meditate.
Yes. Um, Two major examples are loving kindness meditation and concentration meditation. So focusing our full attention on the breath, the sensations of the body. There are many different types of meditation.
So the one we just did was the concentration one, right?
That's right.
So what's the love and kindness one?
You repeat phrases such as, may I be kind, may I be happy, may I be patient, may I be peaceful. And you use your mind, you use your thoughts in this way to influence, to change your experiences, your habits of mind. So if you focus on metta a lot, you can cultivate the energy, the spirit, the feeling of being your own best friend, being an ally to yourself rather than an enemy, which is very important. If you have a further question, you can ask it in the
I have a
lecture chat.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I have two. Are you specifically a Buddhist monk?
That's right.
All right. And my second question is it possible to achieve nirvana during meditation? Like, is that like a real thing that you can achieve?
So, what do you want? What do you want to yell at me for this time?
If we practice, if we put forth effort, then we will get results. But if you want to develop your cardiovascular strength, you don't open up the door and start sprinting and waving your arms around like a crazy person and expect that, oh, I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to get faster. My cardiovascular health is going to improve. It doesn't work like that. If you're serious about something, you need to take small steps toward it consistently. And every time that you give up, every time that you go from a slow, gentle, continuous walk to sprinting, running, and flailing your arms about and shaking your head around, you lose whatever you've gained. You have to restart. You have to go back to the beginning. So if you want to get real transformation in the state of your mind, in the state of how you understand yourself and the world, it's all about consistency. One of the ways that we can be consistent is to follow precepts, to follow guidelines for living, and also to have a relationship with the teacher, to follow someone's advice that they give you, to ask someone, well, what should I do? And then if they give you advice, you do it. And so then, even though you aren't practicing meditation, sitting still constantly, you are maintaining this consistency in your direction. And if you practice consistently and you continuously walk towards peace in a skillful way, then yeah, you will attain enlightenment for sure. But when we haven't even walked out the door, when we haven't taken any initiative or put forth any real effort to even know about what meditation is, and we're asking if enlightenment is possible, there's a disconnect. There's a miscommunication, there's a confusion, there's wires that have yet to be connected. about what it means to walk the path, about what it means to step forward rather than stand on our head.
I see. Understood.
So, one question. So, meditation is meditation the only form of training the mind? Is there other ways?
Meditation is not vague. It's a practice. It's not a belief. It's not an idea. So to practice meditation is a very direct way to change the mind. It is exercise. It is working out. It is practicing the mind. If you know that you have issues in your mind, or you want to improve, or you want to change, meditation would be the most direct route to go. But the other way, the other route, is to do good deeds as much as you can. Be generous, be kind, be forgiving, as much as you can, more and more, doing more and more good deeds, more and more acts of generosity.
I have a question. Do you know what the dark night of the soul is?
Sometimes when we practice meditation, we can have strong experiences of fear, confusion, or panic. And these don't come up because of meditation, these come up because of underlying issues that we have. And we become more aware of them when we practice meditation, when we focus our mind. If you have mental instability, if you have a lot of deep mental suffering, then practicing metta, loving kindness meditation, going to therapy, getting support would be good, would be important to do. But whatever we experience, whether it's a great positive experience or a great negative experience, is ultimately empty, is ultimately impermanent. We can say that enlightenment is a state of complete peace, total peace. We can say that that's what enlightenment represents.
Thank you. I have two more questions. Are there different levels to enlightenment?
Once again, we really have to become more practical. It's a state of utter confusion to have a recognition of the instability of mind and then considering about, well, how enlightened can I become? How spiritual, how magical can I become? When we haven't even begun the process of stabilizing our mind. Are there levels to weightlifting? Is it possible for me to lift 500 pounds? Sure it is, but you don't even go to the gym. Is it possible for a person to run a marathon? Well, of course it is. You don't even jog. So what's the practicality of the question? It's taking our intention and our sincerity and our willingness to put forth effort, and it's wasting it on self-focused thoughts and ideas and stories, rather than applying that effort, applying that sincerity in practice. And it's a real problem. And it applies not just to meditation, to ideas about enlightenment, but it applies to everything. And it's this issue where we think that our sincerity and our heart and our energy should just be spent on talking to ourselves and feeding ourselves more ideas, more stories, more beliefs. It doesn't do anything. It's not going to help you pick up the weight.
I see. Thank you. My last question is, how can one practice healing or self-healing from trauma? Is it to, like you mentioned earlier, metta meditation one way?
Metta meditation would be a good way to practice it, yes. I can send you some resources for metta, for loving kindness meditation if you're interested.
I would be interested. Thank you.
Anyone else have a question?
Uh, I was wondering, how long have you like been down this path for?
Almost 10 years.
Can I ask, what what experience or moment in your life did you realize that this is what you wanted to do? Because I know it's different for a lot of people who choose to go the route of being a monk.
There is no experience, there is no moment. That's just a game that we play with ourselves. Moment by moment, breath by breath, our life is totally unfolding. Everything is totally changing. There's no one moment that inspires you, that changes you fundamentally, that puts you on that path instead of that path. It's just cause and effect. So what moment led me to being a monk? Infinite moments. I couldn't pick one, I couldn't pick two, I couldn't pick three. As many moments as you can imagine, that's how many moments led me to being a monk. And it was an awareness of suffering, awareness of difficulty, awareness of my own lack of skillfulness to take care of myself that led me down the path of becoming a monk, led me down the path of development in meditation, learning more about Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist way of life. So I have a group of followers, a group of students in Vietnam that I need to prepare to lead a class with them. So thank you all for joining in this lecture. I apologize if it was a bit brief and not as ideal as possible, but I'm happy to be here, and we'll continue to host these kind of talks and meetings. If you are interested in meditation, um, remember that I'm here, and I'm here to be a resource for the community. I've attended many intensive retreats. I've lived as a monk for over 3 years now. I've been staying at temples and meditation centers and monasteries for almost 10 years, meeting with very experienced practitioners and masters of meditation. So if meditation is something that people here are interested in, which it seems to be that there is, I hope that we'll be able to organize more of these kinds of activities. And it's a shame that we're not able to organize them more comprehensively at this time. But anyway, thank you all for joining, and take care of yourselves, take care of your lives, and be happy, be peaceful. Take care.
Thank you.
Hey, you take care too, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care as well.
For everything.